Hey everybody, welcome to the Cosmic Panel. Today we are going to make a father tier list in honor of Father's Day coming up. But before we do that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Comment below your favorite father figure in fiction and or in real life. Comment below your dad's home address, so we can wish him a happy Father's Day when it comes around. Oh fuck. Oh god. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at the Cosmic Panel, where we do live sales all the time. I got a claim sale that pretty much every week I'm trying to do a claim sale on Instagram at this point, to be honest. But follow us on eBay at the.cosmic.panel. Great way to support us. And be on the lookout for us at conventions. June, we have the Wayne Toy Show on June 7th, and we have the Philly Comic Con on June 22nd. So yeah. Okay, let's get on with the video.
I just realized it's coming out after June 7th.
Yeah. Oh well. I realized that as I was saying it as well.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump into it. We got Dada, Dad, Papa, and Daddy as the tiers. First up, we got Thanos.
Thanos.
Yeah, I think he's easily going in Da for me.
Yeah, okay, kind of, yeah.
Kind of easy.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're considering like the comic version of him, it's still bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
If anything, it's worse.
Yeah. Why did it? Okay. Next up, we got Sabretooth. Really stand out, just stellar father figure.
Yeah.
Definitely doesn't
I always forget that he's a dad.
His children. Yeah, me too.
That's another Da for me. We're starting off strong with these first two.
Mm-hmm. Yep, these are some real stellar father figures. Reed kind of depends on the writer, but I feel like overall he's, net positive.
Yeah,
I would say dad.
Yeah, I'd say dad.
Just because of like it really depends on the day and who's writing him, like you said. So
all right, next up we got Trigon.
Pretty awful.
Demon father of Raven.
Pretty terrible.
Yeah, I would say
Da.
Unless we're considering Teen Titans Go one, which he isn't as bad in that one.
Yeah.
I would say that's still, honestly, that's like the exception that proves the rule, because part of what's funny about that is that it's the only one where he's like, okay.
Yeah, I would say Thanos is a better... No, wait, no. Well, so you see, Trigon killed Raven's mom, and then Raven's mom put her in a cult.
And
but Thanos completely replaced Nebula's body.
Yeah, and killed, or killed Gamora.
But like, even excluding like the fact that Trigon has also killed his own children before, also.
Yeah,
it's like
I feel like they're honestly they're pretty even.
Yeah, if anything, Sabretooth is a little bit better.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Because
Sabretooth doesn't want to know about his kids. He wants them to fuck off. Yeah. Which at this point might be even better than just having him in your life.
That's true.
Yeah, where I think Thanos and Trigon kind of have them just in case they need someone to sacrifice.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have them because they have kids. They have them as
because they need
batteries.
Kids.
Yeah.
Elias, you're scrolling.
My bad.
Whatever. It's his habit. It's his.
So this next entry might be the worst in the whole list, in my opinion, and that is Brian Banner.
Ooh, that is pretty awful.
I think he's the worst of the worst, to be honest.
He quite literally worked with the devil.
Yeah.
Like not even like an exaggeration.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that like puts Trigon above him, is that being the devil is a little bit not as bad as working with them, like.
Yeah, but he like beat Bruce, so
yeah.
I'm just gonna.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why Trigon. That's why I think Trigon is better, because like being the devil is like, all right, that's pretty bad, but then willingly like working with him is like pretty shitty. Word. Extra shitty.
Sure. So next up we got Johnny Testad.
Honestly,
I love the random order that this
great. Like he gets angry at Johnny, but honestly, like valid.
He tries to be
Johnny's
a good guy.
Like, he's always enabling his children to best pursue their extracurricular activities. He's cleaning the house.
Yeah.
He isn't he doesn't feel emasculated just because his wife is bringing in the money. Honestly, you know what? No, I think he's daddy, honestly.
You think so?
Really?
Yeah, I think he's that good of a father.
I think he's a little clueless.
Yeah, I think
maybe a little bit, but not as
bit.
bad as like some other people like we know, like Jerry.
Yeah, but looking ahead at some of the other ones on there, there's some that like really kind of go above and beyond, you know? And I feel like in comparison, like he's a good dad, but he hasn't like fought God or anything, you know?
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Because boy, do they get up to some shit in Johnny Test, bro.
They do.
Lucas just pulls out like an episode. Where Johnny's dad fights God.
Yeah, he actually killed God. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, that would be like the least surprising thing to come out of that series. Yeah, okay, then we can just keep him at Papa.
We could always move him up later if we.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's Homer?
Next up, Homer. Pretty awful. Child abuse.
Yeah.
Straight up, it became a bit.
I think.
I'll say just above Sabretooth.
I haven't seen the modern stuff. Didn't they tone that down?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
I mean, they probably had to.
No, they did. He's
also like, you talk about Johnny Test's dad being clueless.
I think
Homer is like clueless to another level. Because he like actively endangers everyone because he works at a nuclear factory.
Yeah, facility. But I think they as a big Simpsons head, there's a couple episodes that exist purely to make Homer a really good dad. Like really good. And like sort of like, I mean, there's like the whole like do it for him, do it for her meme that came from an episode where the whole thing is like Homer's life fucking sucks, but he's doing it for Maggie. Like he's working at the horrible place for Maggie. So it's weird because I can't. I can't believe. I hope this doesn't get taken out of context. If you excuse the child abuse, the choking of his son,
clip that right now. Clip that. That's going into TikTok.
If you set that aside for a second,
you get the child abuse. You put it in a box. You ship the box over to another country.
Yeah, you tape up the box for a second and you put it to the side. He's really good, and then you put it back in. I think that would at least bump him up to, you know, what is that, Dada territory?
Yeah,
not good, but he hasn't actively. He's not trying to kill his children.
Yeah, true.
He's not trying.
Next up, we have Jerry Smith.
Awful father, straight up. Like, no, genuinely, like straight up. Honestly, has literally never done anything good for Morty.
Yeah. From what I remember,
Summer.
He's not. Well, no, he is sometimes.
No, he's not malicious.
But he keeps bees, though.
No, he's malicious, bro.
I was gonna say he's not malicious, but sometimes he is.
But he keeps bees.
He does keep bees, but that's not his children.
Bro, he's
good at keeping bees.
Yeah.
The only reason why he's not in the same category
How old is your dad?
is because he probably hasn't.
That's my favorite, like Rick and Morty bit. Is just that the post, like the end credit scene, where Summer's friend is like,
"Oh yeah,
did I keep bees?" How old's your dad? I guess beekeeping age. Summer, I want to fuck your dad. No, really? I do actually genuinely like that bit.
The first couple seasons of Rick and Morty were pretty good.
He's like Lois Dada, I think. Yeah, I stopped after season 4.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Rick is
Rick's only worse than Jerry, I feel like.
I would say top of Da.
Okay.
Because he doesn't.
Because he's quite literally killed his family multiple times at this point.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even, if that's like the bar.
He's killed them, but he feels bad about it. So like,
yeah, but then he hops into another universe and it never happened.
Yeah, so that makes him feel better than Sabretooth, because I don't think Sabretooth would give a shit.
Yeah, he has empathy.
Yeah, but that's about it.
Yeah, plus sometimes he does give Morty like a fun, like little invention.
Yeah, I feel like in my mind, like killing or willingness to kill your kids puts you.
But he
in
also wipes
bottom
Morty's
tier.
brain every other episode. You remember that? The Morty mind explosures or whatever it's called? And it's like him showing Morty perfect level, and Morty just like coming immediately and then leaving, being like, everything's wrong.
But you know what? That I feel like maybe is a point towards being good.
I don't know,
wiping
man.
some of those things kind of seems like
he's wiping it so that he can further do them. He's not wiping them for Morty's benefit. He's wiping them for his own.
Some of those he was wiping for Morty's benefit. Some of those was a little bit like, I think the perfect level thing, the whole bit was like, it's just gonna, his life is just gonna be.
That bit was really funny though.
Yeah,
that lives in my head rent free because it's like it's just Rick going like, this isn't level, and like Morty being like, no, it is, and he was like, I'll show you level, and it's like montage to him making the perfect anyway. Peter Griffin,
Peter guy from Fortnite.
Do not really watch Family Guy.
He's bad.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm just wondering how bad. That's really like what I'm trying to decide. I think he's above Jerry, but worse than Homer. You know?
Yeah. From what little I know, I'd agree with that.
Like he's pretty awful to Meg, but he's not terrible to Chris, and he's kind of neutral and Stewie. So it's like, he's like 1 in 3 chance of being an awful dad.
Yeah.
By like that percentage.
All right.
Well, like Homer's literally 50% of the time.
Okay.
I guess.
Or
no. He's also one. He's 1/3.
He does stand up for Meg against Trump in that one episode, so he gets points for that.
No, yeah, true.
Yeah.
I think I could live with that placement. Next up, we have Stan from American Dad.
I don't watch American Dad enough, honestly.
Me neither, but I think he's supposed to be pretty good, right? Like, isn't better than Peter.
Yeah, I mean, his whole thing is like he's
the bar
very,
is low.
like,
The
toxic.
bar is.
He's a very toxic kind of masculine figure, but he's I would say maybe just above Home.
Okay, I mean, from what little I've seen, it involved him killing
because he's pretty shit to.
Well, Santa's not his kid, so it's fine.
Exactly, and he killed Santa with his kids.
Yeah, so
like it was like a family bonding.
So he does activities with his children.
God, y'all remember when Peter Griffin had no bones? Remember that episode?
Yeah, it's early.
that episode, unironically, scarred me as a child.
Yeah,
it was really horrific, and it genuinely fucked me up for a bit.
All right, now we have a couple of dads that make the adult shows look tame.
Yeah,
I think
funny enough,
Greg is pretty great.
They're like children's stuff.
Yeah,
I think Greg is pretty great.
I would put Greg around Dad.
I never really watched Steven Universe.
He gets better.
I mean, well, the thing is that he's letting the gems take care of it because he knows that he's not qualified to. Which, to be honest, is like, while you can say like, oh, he's ignoring Steven, he's not. He still interacts and still goes to Steven when he can. It's more of a safety thing where he's like, I don't know, like that moment where Steven's like aging rapidly and Greg has to hold him in his arms as he's like about to die. Like Greg, Greg is like the type of person to be like, yeah, you know what? I can't fix these. So I'm going to keep him in the care of the people that can, but when he can.
But I think for a lot of, at least the beginning, he's not really making an effort to improve that. He's kind of like, you know, it feels a little bit like, all right, well, the gems can take care of it, so I don't have to. And that's a little bit of like, he could be, it's not bad, but he could be doing, he could be.
I think he's at least better than Reed.
He's better than Reed?
Better than Reed. At minimum. Finn's dad.
I'm just trying to decide how bad he stacks up against these other terrible fathers.
What I'm trying to decide, a little bit
better than Peter, honestly.
Really? I think he's worse than Jerry. At least Jerry like kind of is around.
He's Da,
right.
period, bro. He gets Finn's arm ripped off.
For me, it was like, for me, it was whether I'm gonna break the whole like, does he kill?
Yeah.
Well, he does try to keep Finn safe at one point in the beginning, right? Isn't that like a thing?
For
that,
me,
like,
it was whether bottom of Dada or Da.
Didn't he go insane? Isn't that why he like after? No, am I misremembering?
No, he was just kind of I mean, he did eventually.
He tries
but, like,
to
he was already.
He tries to keep Finn out of his life. Finn tries to break him out of the prison. The dad tries to isn't it
It's kind of no remorse whatsoever for.
He tries to escape, and then Finn tries to
stop him,
and his arm gets ripped off.
Yeah.
So
and he does not feel bad about it at all.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to decide like how bad, because he's definitely in Da.
I would
but I guess
say,
actively not.
I don't think
harming
he's
the kids. Then
yeah, I would say top of. Yeah, I can't decide above or below Rick.
I think he's above Rick. Rick has actively killed multiple versions of his family.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. What's one measly arm to 15 different versions of Summer being killed?
Yeah.
You
should include
honestly
every version of him.
Not a terrible dad. Actually, you know what? No. He's
good.
He's good.
He's good, but he also, in the beginning at least, makes his kids suppress their powers.
Well,
yeah,
which
will
more than likely give them more than likely later in the future give them therapy problems.
Well, it's that or like them. Get taken by the government.
Also, they're constantly moving.
Yeah, again, it's that or get taken by the government. It's kind of a tricky.
Yeah, it's like
it's not necessarily his fault. I mean, he's very actively would love to let them use their powers.
Yeah, true. He's pretty excited when Dash puts the thumbtack on the teacher's chair.
Yeah.
He's like, "How fast did he move?" And he's like, "Dad, I moved so fast."
It's hilarious.
That's really the government is making us not show our powers, and I'm not trying to get any of us in trouble type of deal.
Plus, he's faithful.
Yeah, I think he's highest. Well,
you know what?
He could be Papa.
I would say Papa.
Yeah, Jimmy's dad.
He's
holding ducks.
He's not great, but there's some pretty bad ones here.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's not negatively affecting Jimmy in the way that these other dads are. If anything, he's enabling Jimmy a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bottom of dad.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I never watched Lion King.
Really?
Yeah, never did.
That's wild. That's actually kind of wild. I've watched it more times than I wanted to. I've been held hostage practically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never did.
I mean, this is a case where he dies pretty early on, so it's a little tricky to tell.
Yeah, but he up until that point, he's pretty good of a dad.
Yeah. The whole reason it sucks is because he's good.
But also it's not like he had a choice in the death.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was like, you know what, today I'm gonna die. You know what? I don't feel like being this kid's father. Fuck it.
This is supposed to be what's his name, Mufasa, right?
Yeah, Mufasa.
Okay.
Not Simba.
I can't remember if it's the
Don't worry,
Simba
guys. I got the Lion King lore expert.
Yeah. I know there was
fun fact.
Did
you know that Scar's son later marries Simba's daughter, which is very incestuous and really weird, and is included in the direct-to-DVD film Lion King 3.
Yeah.
Epic.
I did know that.
You guys see the Mufasa movie?
No, I didn't. I heard
the live-action film.
I heard it was really bad.
Yeah.
I heard the original live-action Lion King was really bad, but this one was a little bit better.
So what, top of dad or what? That's on you. That's up to you, Lucas.
I think he's probably top of dad.
Yeah. It's hard to tell without seeing more, but he's definitely a good one.
Yeah. Right.
Now on to my favorite Disney father figure, Tony Soprano.
Oh, Tony. Man,
he's not great.
He is pretty awful. I mean, spoilers for any Sopranos people. He kills literally his cousin, and like kills his daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah, I would say bottom of Dada, just for the fact that he wouldn't do that to his own kids.
Yeah,
that's the only saving is like the daughter's boyfriend was just because he was being protective of his daughter.
Yeah, like
I think is the only.
The daughter's boyfriend was like sleeping with other people and like entering gang activity. He was like multiple times being like, "Hey."
Yeah.
All right, I couldn't find a square for just Jake's dad, so now it's both of them. But this one is for Jake's dad.
I mean, he literally gave birth to Jake's dad. Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's literally fought demons for Jake.
Yeah. No, he's goated. He's pretty goated.
Yeah, he's. I don't remember what we said about. Yeah, I'd say daddy. I don't remember what we said about Jake's mom.
No, I think we also rated her pretty high.
Yeah.
But like, no, overall, pretty great.
Yeah, I mean that is true. I mean he gave birth to Jake, right? So
yeah.
And then I have Jake with his fucking 7
Jake's
kids.
Pretty bad, honestly.
Yeah, he's not.
He ignores his kids. He ignores his kids quite a bit. Like later on. I don't know. I know he has like the solo episodes where he hangs out with them, but like, bro, when that's like one episode out of like every 50.
Yeah, he pretty explicitly does not hang out with his kids all the time. He
and I get it. They have a faster like life aging, but like.
Yeah, so I think the whole thing is that like he's, has the inner conflict of like he still wants to, go on adventures with Finn and like live this like free lifestyle, but this responsibility, is big, but it also, the kids age faster, so it's like more overwhelming for him. So I wouldn't say he's like bad to be bad, but like he's, overwhelmed and then he tries harder. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think he's like a terrible father. I just think he's like
he's
has a lot of inner struggles with it.
Well, that's like below Jimmy's dad for me.
Below Jimmy's dad.
Yeah, I would say so.
I was gonna put him like around Steven's dad. Even he's not bad when he's around. Rating it off of like human.
You know what? I agree.
Standards.
Actually,
he's really good when he's around. He's not around enough, which is pretty much the same deal with Steven's dad.
Yeah, you know what?
Like,
when
he's around,
right.
he's good. He's just not around enough.
And don't forget that there's also a lot of pushback from his kids. Like his kids are all into different stuff, and they all have like different weird, habits of their own. And like Kim Kil-won like tries to, push him out of the treehouse, and so there's resistance.
I always forget about that.
Yeah, there's resistance on other sides too. So I feel like here is maybe fair, kind of middle of the road.
I think above Steven's dad. Honestly, I've been convinced.
Okay, word. Next up, we have Doofenshmirtz.
He's pretty good.
He is surprisingly good.
He's pretty good.
He is also the divorced dad. So like,
divorced single dad. He
has a hobby.
Has a hobby. Well, he keeps his work life and his family life pretty separate.
Yeah, honestly, but he kind of difficult. He also like and he manages it.
But also when she like wants to kind of participate, he's good with that. Like that's good. He's like he's not trying to make her into the whole like supervillain career path, but like when she is around, like
nor is he trying to make her a super good person.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. The only thing that might knock him down is animal abuse, but
that's not his kid.
That isn't his kid. That's true.
That's also, I feel like that's more of like the fucking agency's fault than his fault.
Using. Yeah, I'm actually not opposed to that placement.
Lois Papa?
Yeah, I think so, honestly. Because you have to understand also, he only gets her half of the time. So like, every time that he doesn't have her, we can kind of just assume that he's not ignoring her. It's just the fact that he literally doesn't have custody of her that week.
Yeah.
Or that day.
Oh, okay. Pa Watterson. He's
okay. So to play defense for him, his wife literally sets him up for failure because apparently if he does succeed in stuff and starts doing stuff, there's a singularity that happens.
Yeah, I think actually,
like literally, there's a whole episode.
I was about to already jump to his defense. He's Homer without the child abuse.
Yeah,
which is like, when he's bad, it's not his fault.
He's not even
stupid.
He's not. Yeah. No, but that's
not
the thing.
In his control.
It's literally not even on him though, because his mom and his wife both like almost like neuter him. Because when he starts succeeding, he could potentially destroy the universe, and that's not a joke.
Yeah, but also that's what I mean. Like, when he fucks up, it's because he's dumb, and that is unfortunately not something that he can help. Other than like the singularity thing, that's not something I would actually put him higher
than Jimmy's dad. Honestly,
yeah, I'd put him above Jimmy's dad just because like he has more of the attention.
He has potential,
intention than Jimmy's dad does. Jimmy's dad is just kind of like.
Plus, he did adopt a kid, Darwin.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. He treats all of his kids very equally.
Yeah,
that's good. I'm happy with that. Next up, we got Flame King.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, he starts very bad. He has somewhat of a redemption arc, but
he still
it's a little bit like
bad.
Too little, too late kind of vibe.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'd put him below Jerry personally, because I feel like he doesn't fuck over Flame Princess because he's like wants to be mean to her or something. Just because he doesn't really.
He's overprotective.
Care. Yeah, he's a little overprotective, and he's a little bit too much about how he feels about it.
Yeah. I think that's a valid placement. Hunson Abadir. Marcy's dad.
Honestly,
he's basically Trigon.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, pretty similar.
Yeah, he neglects Marceline because he just wants to torture everyone in the Nightosphere.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's pretty bad. I'm trying to see how he stacks up against these other bottom tier people, though.
I mean, he's quite literally
better or worse
hell.
than Trigon.
Yeah, I would maybe
think
even
he's better
say
than Trigon.
I would
haven't
even say
read
better
enough
than
Trigon.
Sabretooth, just because I don't think he would.
He actually cares about his daughter.
Yeah, he wouldn't kill Marceline. He would just make her.
If anything,
he
wants to promote her.
Oh, well, then we got to put him here then.
Yeah,
because all these people have tried to kill their children, right? Somewhere.
Well, what about Finn's dad then?
Well, that's why he's top, because he hasn't tried to kill Finn, but he has injured Finn.
He has
remotely.
Yeah, which I do not
indirectly.
I do not think that would be.
I thought you were going to say I do not condone children having their limbs ripped off.
No, I don't think that would be beneath him to
Hot
maim
take,
Marceline.
Guys. I don't think that children should have their arms ripped off. Crazy, I know. Sue me.
Type in the comments whether you agree or disagree with that.
Guys, type in the comments if you're pro arm rip off or
you're
pro children dismemberment. Yeah,
go in the comments. Tell Lucas why he's wrong.
Yeah,
what is this, Torso Man?
No, this is the father from Kids Next Door.
Oh yes, the father.
The father,
literally called the father.
Yeah, father.
Yeah. He is pretty awful.
What is this? Is it just father?
It's literally just called father.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, because it's the delightful children from down the lane.
Yeah, delightful
Which,
children. Yeah, he's pretty evil.
He has 5 children.
Pretty evil.
I would have to assume from different parents. Just because, that Punnett square is not squaring. There's like a ginger and then a black kid and then like another like blonde hair kid. It makes no sense.
Are they even his for real?
Who knows?
Actually,
wait.
We never know.
Aren't they?
I think they were originally part of Kids Next Door, but I think he kidnapped them and stopped them from further going into it.
Exactly.
But they are his kids, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It's not exactly clear because he's not exactly the best.
But yeah, no, he's pretty awful. I'm not defending him. I'm just trying to see how bad. I mean, he quite literally chased number 1 to the moon. Like that's the literal ending of the series.
I would maybe say,
but he is better than his grandfather. And to be fair, he never abuses his children. His grandfather did. His grandfather quite literally, or his father, had him literally working in a sweatshop.
Below?
Unironically.
Is he better because he actively makes his kids do evil things, or is he worse because of that? You know what I mean?
I would say he's almost worse.
Finn's dad is basically absentee father bad, so I feel like
yeah.
I feel like he's there.
Yeah. I would, you know what? I would say below Marceline's dad, because Marceline's dad wants her to be evil, but isn't kidnapping her and forcing her. Like, isn't
Yeah, that's valid.
forcing that.
Yeah. Okay.
They're basically the same.
Now, I think this is what you meant. I haven't watched Avatar, so
yeah.
But this is Zuko's dad, right?
That's the Fire Lord.
Yeah, Fire Lord. Pretty pretty awful. I would have to say
it's funny he's right next to Omni-Man, because they have a very similar.
I mean, he's literally just Fire Hitler.
Yeah,
that's not even an exaggeration.
Yeah, they're pretty much like he's basically Omni-Man if Omni-Man didn't like sort of
if
learn
Omni-Man
the whole,
only had firebending.
Well, if Omni-Man,
I wouldn't say that actually. No.
I guess I'm kind of ranking them both at the same time, at least in relation to each other. Omni-Man has that moment of, oh shit, this really is my son. I can't go through with this. Ozai, like, he does not. He is. This is my son. I could not care less. My mission or whatever comes above that. He's pretty shitty.
I think that he's just above Trigon, Fire Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, he's quite literally killing hundreds of thousands of people just for the love of the game.
Yeah, and he. I mean, the reason why Zuko has his whole fire scar thing
literally is because of his dad.
Well, because his dad was like, I'm going to fight you. He
ain't raised no bitch.
He fought Zuko and burned his face off. So that's a pretty shitty.
He said, "I heard no bell,"
and then banished him.
Yeah, and then banished him. Said, "Hey, if you get the Avatar," which remember when he gave him that mission, the Avatar had been gone for 100 years. Like the likelihood of him finding the Avatar was literally fucking, like there was no way he would know that the Avatar would just appear.
His face off and then said, "Yeah, all right, I'll welcome you back if you find Jesus."
Yeah, that's basically the equivalent. Yeah.
All right, Omni-Man.
I would say probably.
Personally, I'd say above Sabretooth.
Yeah, actually, I kind of agree.
Just because, again, it's that remorse. He feels bad about it eventually.
Yeah, it's a character arc.
And he is yeah. And he is better
We can be bees.
I'm a snake?
We can be bees.
We can be bees.
You can live for 30 years.
I love those. The Invincible brain rot is so funny.
Invincible fans are absolutely losing it. It hasn't been that long since the season ended, and they already. I mean, immediate.
This is just a taste of what I experienced during the JJK breaks in the manga. Like the JJK brain rot is crazy. Just I can't wait for that show to come back, and you guys to just be inundated with like, nah, I'd win.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is that fucking Hank Pym?
Scott.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if that's Hank Pym, straight to the bottom of Da.
Nah.
Straight to the bottom of Da.
It's not Hank. I didn't think to include Hank.
I mean, Hank does have Nadia, but like that's like barely.
Yeah, I mean, I could have, but Scott is like a more notable father figure in Marvel.
Better.
Scott's in MCU.
Good,
honestly.
In MCU, he's really good.
He literally went to save his children in the comics.
Yeah, they're not dissimilar in the comic and movie adaptation, which is nice. It's both the arc of like trying to juggle being a hero while being a reformed criminal, while trying to be a good father, while being a divorced dad. So it's all that kind of stuff. So he gets a lot of points.
He tries, and that's genuinely the biggest thing. And also when Cassie becomes a superhero, he doesn't immediately go, no, you can't do this. He goes, okay, how can we do this safely?
Right. How can I help?
Because in the comics, at least, she doesn't need a suit to change. She just gains it by like exposure around like her dad.
Just built different.
Basically, actually, kind of.
Yeah. Like I feel like above Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I think
I was gonna go higher.
Yeah, honestly,
I was gonna go bottom of Papa?
No, I think he's underneath Johnny's dad. Because, like, the thing is, like, being a criminal does not necessarily, like, being a criminal does not make a bad dad.
Well, that's why I was gonna say, like, or maybe I was in my mind, he's very similar to Doofenshmirtz in that they kind of did the same thing where they're kind of doing their own thing.
Doofenshmirtz is trying to, like, here's my nukenator. Like,
yeah, but that doesn't really have to do with his daughter.
Well, yeah, but he's like trying to kill everyone in the tri-state area except his daughter. So it's like his daughter just living in a literal nuclear wasteland, being like, "Dad."
I was gonna say he's not too dissimilar to Mr. Incredible.
Yeah,
but he, I guess, tries a little more
I wouldn't say
to support
basically
her.
Is the two of them combined.
Yeah, he's supporting her, being a hero, but is, I guess, a little less. He doesn't have to be as secretive about it, as Mr. Incredible does.
He's got that good, like, work-family balance of, like,
True.
It's separate when it needs to be, and if she wants to be part of it, she can be, but, like...
Yeah.
Agreed.
Next up, we got Odin. It's tough.
Okay. In his defense, he does have to rule Asgard, and that kind of does make things tricky.
But, bro, he takes so many power naps, bro.
yeah.
Like, bro, man sleeps every other issue, my guy. Like, man has actual narcolepsy.
Yeah. Well, see, that's not his fault. If it was actual narcolepsy, you couldn't blame him for that.
He's like, Thor, my son, I need you.
Just because it's God narcolepsy doesn't make it any
Thor,
any
I'm so proud of you.
So
you did such an amazing...
Yeah.
He's literally the king of tough love, right?
Yeah. It's also hard because Thor really was...
Thor was a
fucking
dick.
little shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early on. So it is... And it did make him into Thor. So it is like, it was exactly what he needed.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, he wasn't terrible to Loki. He did adopt a child, and
he did his best with a child who was predestined to be evil. There's kind of only so much you can do.
Was he predestined?
Odin,
well, maybe in the comics, but
Odin is very much like a toxic male, but like and
Loki's the
ultimately. Well, I was gonna say he kind of. I think one of the storylines is he kind of pits them against each other.
Loki is the theater kid, and his dad is the football coach.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he kind of pits them.
That's exactly what happened.
And then Thor's the star quarterback.
The star quarterback who went to too many parties and had to get
benched. Yeah.
The second that Odin's like, why couldn't you be more like Loki? Loki's fucking off somewhere.
Right.
I would put him below Mufasa because...
Okay, that was way too high, Aimo.
Oh, well,
I was going to think above Homer, and that was it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was definitely thinking below Mufasa, because Mufasa is basically Odin, but nicer.
Yeah, as a father, I think that's appropriate. As a ruler, that's a different story. Like, you got to be cutthroat as a king and as a ruler. So I feel like it's
a tricky balance.
I would leave him here for now, and maybe.
But we were giving props earlier to Scott for balancing his life and his job. So
yeah, that's part of.
Well, but it's not a balance. Like he.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like Odin gets points docked because he can't balance it.
I got you.
Yeah, like Scott goes up because he can, while Odin can't.
Next up, we have Kingpin.
Talking about not balancing it, he just does not like.
Boy got shot in both eyes. He does have his actual son in the comics.
I'm talking comic version.
Empire.
Yeah, I'm talking comic version, or that's what I was thinking of anyway.
So I was thinking, like Spider-Verse version absolutely is garbage.
Vanessa.
Yeah. I would say below
Mets,
Tony.
Spider-Man, the Mets. Into the Spider-Verse, he quite literally risks destroying the entire multiverse just to get his child back.
But
he risks the entire multiverse, which means other versions of his own son.
Well, it's also I think like a really selfish, like he wasn't really there. He wasn't really about it. It's not like he's trying to get his kid back and he like because he genuinely knows he fucked up. Like, he just wants his wife and kid back and is not making
Wait, his
any
kid
effort
didn't even die, right? They just left him.
No, they died.
They died.
They left him, and
In the
then they
movie,
got
yeah.
hit by a truck.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
And he's not like trying to make any effort. I mean, they leave him again when he opens the portal.
True.
They see him again fighting Spider-Man again. And they leave him again. Like he's kind
Not
of
what
like
they,
he wants them back
want, yeah.
only just so that he can have them back, not because he actually wants to do the work.
Right. But
Which
in the
is, for me,
comics,
I'd put him below Tony.
Immediately, as soon as he said, "I want you back," I immediately thought of Michael Jackson and him dangling his own child above the.
We should have put Michael Jackson on this.
like as soon as he said that, my brain went Michael Jackson dangling child over right low.
That is pretty fantastic.
Oh man,
I love that moment.
And then making his kids all wear masks, like full on like Phantom of the Opera masks.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, every time they would go to school or something, he didn't want them like the paparazzi to know what they looked like, so he would make them wear masks everywhere. I mean, it wasn't like it was going to stop them from. I mean, if anything, I think it fucked him up more.
He's basically Tony Soprano, but doesn't care about his kid.
Yeah, basically, actually.
Yeah, that's valid. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure he tries to like kill his kid or tries to get his kid taken out. Because
his kid does become a criminal.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is he tries to the Rose tries to encroach on Kingpin's territory, so I'm pretty sure he like tries to get him killed. So yeah, I would say. I mean,
Tony actively doesn't want his son Anthony to become.
Yeah.
He's definitely below Tony, but he might be just above. He might be
down with the like kill my kids level.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, so maybe more. I
think it depends. Here? Yeah, probably around there because I think it depends on which story.
Yeah.
You think
like,
he's
Ozai and Thanos and Trigon, like they unambiguously do not give a shit about their kids, and like sometimes Kingpin does.
Well, so Omni-Man tries to kill Mark, right?
Yeah, first time, and then after stops. That.
So does Rick go lower?
Oh yeah, Rick would have to go lower.
Yeah.
If anything, I think Rick should still go lower.
Lower?
I mean, I've always been
the argument in Rick and Morty is that it's not his version of his family.
But then at that point, it's like, what is? I mean, his original kid literally never had Morty, so like, his little kid literally died when she was like 9. Like his version of Beth.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Rick's one that really can get fucked up. Like you could really go back and forth on, and then Deadpool.
I think Deadpool's actually not that terrible of a father.
Yeah.
In the comics right now, he's actually training. Right now, Ellie's actually part of Team Deadpool. She like has a costume as Deadpool, and Wade keeps Wade is one training her with Taskmaster, which is good. This is a smart way to make sure that she doesn't get hurt. And 2, he is making sure that she doesn't kill. He repeat like every issue. Basically, she's like, she has to ask permissions. Like, can I kill this? This doesn't count as a human. And he's like, yes, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's
Plus, he did leave her life when genuinely he would have been more of an endangerment. And he did put her in a really good foster family. But to also play devil's advocate, he also killed her foster mom at one point. And then brought her to Nazi Germany, aka Hydra, USA.
I would say below Reed, in that Reed is mostly guilty of just...
I would say just above Jimmy's dad.
Kids, you know?
What'd you say, Baldy?
I feel like Reed, in general, the worst thing he does is like ignore his family. Which kind of like isn't as bad as Deadpool straight up killing foster parents and stuff like that.
Well, to be fair, she was a robot.
So you think
foster mom
below Reed? You said?
Yeah, I would say below Reed because I don't know. Reed is at least a little more stable, even when he's not paying attention to his kids.
He also Deadpool knows that he would fuck up his daughter, like if he had like raised her. So like,
that's why I'm sort of torn. Does he go above Reed or not?
Well, like if he did raise her, she would have been really fucked up. Like, it's almost like it's a better situation.
Yeah.
Because she had a normal childhood with her mom and then got introduced to her dad, and then her dad was like, okay, but what about you have a stable family life?
Really looking at all of these, Reed feels like the most like average dad.
Yeah, weirdly enough, yeah.
Weirdly enough, like he's never done anything.
Maybe your standards for dads are pretty bad.
Yeah, he's never done anything bad, but he's never done anything great for them. Like he's compared to all the other ones.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, Balti, shut up, Magneto. Father-wise, I was going to say he's
lost
tough.
His children multiple times.
I was going to say it's tough because he's Magneto, because he's Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch's
not real dad
at first, and then is not. So what I was going to go off of is the original, introduction of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, which is they're all in the Brotherhood of Mutants together, and he's basically using them for his war, against the X-Men. So in which case he's a bad father.
So pretty bad.
In general,
that's basically
he's a bad dad.
What Ozai did, but just with less
naming. I don't know. I think he's.
But his intention is good, right? So it's like,
yeah.
For me, it's like below Tony's situation. But
I would say like
might be. Well, I feel like we got to lower Jerry.
I would say above.
Yeah, same.
Definitely above Marceline's dad, like in between, like that level, because
I don't know, man. It's
he makes them do pretty
you're right. You're right.
terrible
Actually,
shit.
He's above Marceline's dad.
It doesn't really matter why he's doing it. He makes them. He forces them to do some pretty terrible shit.
Yeah.
Well, Marceline's dad also does care about her, just like Magneto does care about his kids.
Yeah, with Magneto, it's hard because he cares about his kids,
but his efforts a little more like
second
valiant.
It comes second to the whole mutant thing for him.
Yeah,
he's not the devil, which is what Marceline's dad basically is.
Yeah,
I think that's a fair placement. All right, next up we got Darkseid.
Now that's the real Space Hitler.
Honestly, pretty awful.
Yeah.
As someone who just recently read all of Jack Kirby's Fourth World, this is not a bit.
Father
I did
of,
just recently.
No, I know. Father of hit characters such as
Orion. And
I thought
adopted father of. Well, no, High Father is his That's the thing. They traded the two children.
Oh, right. Yeah, so he's Orion.
So he quite literally traded his child.
What is it?
For shits and giggles.
Grail. What's her name? Is it Grail?
Yes, Grail is also his daughter.
So he's got a lot of kids. And he's pretty shit to all.
Calabac is also his kid.
So, I already said that. So because he's definitely low, right? But how low?
Yeah, he's definitely low.
Bro, no, I think he's lowest, man. Like, Bruce's dad is awful.
I think he's at like Thanos level.
Like, you have to understand, this man. No, bro, he's lower than Bruce's dad. Come on, let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, this man quite literally sold his kid off and then got another kid and then basically tortured that kid.
And he's not
and
even
use them to take over the try
at
the very
least. Yeah, at the very least, like Thanos and Trigon had reasons for doing it, horrible reasons, but they had a reason. He just kind of did it because he felt like it.
Well, no, that's not true. Actually, he wanted. So, he did it to buy himself more time so that he could get the anti-life equation. Like, that's literally the whole bit was like, he was like, this will give me 15 more years or so. Like, quite literally, he was just like, and then I'll break it, the treaty, and we don't have to worry about this anymore.
But that's what, like, it.
But yeah, he just did it for the love of the game.
Yeah, that's what, like, he kind of just did it because there were definitely other options where at least Trigon and Thanos,
there's also like the option of just not trying to kill everyone.
That's that whole area of the list.
So High Father is like better, but only a little bit.
Well, okay. So here's the thing: High Father feels incredibly guilty.
Yeah.
At first. First time that Scott Free meets him is at his and Barda's wedding, right before the series gets canned, and literally Scott just goes, "Oh my god, it's High Father," and then they just like never acknowledge the fact that that's his dad.
I'd put him below Omni-Man.
What? Bro, he's basically Space Jesus. Like, what? Or Space Moses, actually.
But being a good guy does not make him a good dad.
True, but he raised Orion, who's basically the equivalent of like a feral child. And he quite literally, the first thing that Orion tried to do is literally stab him.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally embraced Orion in a hug and said, "You don't need to fight here anymore, child." And then Orion dropped his dagger, and he literally like grew up to be one of the biggest like.
Lucas just read this shit, so I'm not gonna.
No, literally.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go to you because from what I remember, he was kind of like.
He's not the best. Don't get me wrong, but he's like pretty good.
From what I remember, it was like okay, he raised Orion and then just kind of fucks off. Like once Orion's older.
No, not really. He like really keeps talking with Orion consistently. Like Orion gets his missions from Highfather directly.
Yeah, but I haven't like remembered this.
Highfather talks to God,
this as well,
which is just a flaming hand.
Is he above Jimmy's dad?
I would think so.
Yeah. Jimmy's dad and Highfather next to each other on a tier list is hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we got Red Guardian, but like the movie version, it wouldn't let me remove this, so now this is the placeholder.
I think he's pretty bad.
Really? I think he's pretty good.
Man literally handed his children over to the fucking Red Room, bro. Didn't look for them for years. Got out. Okay. Got broken out by his children.
I was just thinking about Thunderbolts.
Broken out by his children. Then ditched them for another 5 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And then when he learned that his daughter died, said, "Oh, well, the other one will be fine."
Yeah, you're right.
It's really fucked up.
I don't know why I was only thinking of like Thunderbolts, like modern era.
Even the Thunderbolts, they say that like.
Well, I mean, they say that
calls him out.
My brain was only thinking of like the current like post them reuniting, forgetting that that's the whole reason why they're fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think below Peter Griffin. Yeah, I mean, he literally handed his children over to get their uteruses ripped out, which is like a joke in Black Widow.
Yeah.
Funny.
They even, I mean, the question is, did they ever say that he knew about what was going on in the Red Room?
He did.
He did?
Yes.
Okay. I do not remember Black Widow.
His wife was literally in charge of the Red Room.
Oh.
The lady who was
Yeah.
So the lady he was stationed with, which was his quote unquote wife, was literally in charge of the Red Room. Specifically the experimentation on mind control side of it.
Great.
No, he very much knew it. He just didn't care. It was a mission.
Vader.
Okay, Darth Vader.
We got the most in the low tier in this of any fucking tier list ever.
There's some really bad dads.
media in general just doesn't portray dads well. I think he's
it's almost
awful,
like it's based on real life.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
He kills himself?
No, he doesn't. The second that he finds out...
Well, he does. He kills himself to save his son.
I mean, yes, but the second that he realizes that Luke is his son, all of a sudden, everything he does changes to, how can I get Luke to join me? How can I get him with me? I'm not going to try and kill him. I'm going to try and...
Luke, don't kiss your sister.
Yeah, like the second he realizes, because he didn't know.
Put me in Fortnite.
So I haven't tried saying
I
weird
love
shit to him.
I love that he has like
we gotta go in and say weird shit to him.
It's over like Saturday, I think. Yeah.
I love that his cape has a chain too, like a random chain across it.
I mean, oh my god, all of the Vader.
He's drippy.
He is very drippy. Bro enters a room and says, "Don't choke on your aspirations."
Yeah. Well, it's all over my Instagram, and
it's hilarious.
You have to find all over my Instagram, Olias. I'll see if I can find some too. Is like just clips of Vader like aura farming nonstop. Like,
aura farming,
like turning off his breathing machine just so that he can ambush people, and like standing on top of his TIE fighter, just so that he can just show up in a cool way. Like he
literally turned off his air breathing and then turned on his lightsaber.
Yeah,
in Rogue One to be like. People. Yeah, I'm gonna kill all you motherfuckers.
But my argument with Vader is that he doesn't know for 99% of it. He doesn't know.
No, that is
he even
true.
Has
he
kids.
literally thinks his wife died.
So like him being an absent father isn't his fault.
But
because he didn't know. And when he knows, all he does is try and get Luke with him.
He's basically the second in command to Space Hitler.
Yeah, but I feel like that's, again, not really part of his dadhood.
Quite literally, Luke's family, Luke's
being a bad guy, being a bad guy would drop some of these people down. We specifically said
no. Well, here's the thing: the reason why Luke needed to buy droids was because they weren't, and why they had to buy from junk sellers or whatever, was because they were losing farming capabilities because of the Empire. Like the Empire was taxing them too hard.
Yeah, but that's not really a father thing. Like, again, he didn't know. So
remind me. Here's what I'm hung up on. Remind me. Is he just like losing his own mind when he like turns on Padme and everything?
Yeah, basically.
Is he tainted by the
dark? So the whole thing, the whole thing in the prequels is that he's convinced Padme's gonna die,
right?
And the Emperor is the one who can teach him how to stop that. And then he sort of self-fulfilling prophecy accidentally kills her,
right?
Because he's just so in the dark side, and like ever since then, he's just constantly just.
Well, she died from heartbreak. That's the
but she's constantly depressed. He's constantly depressed after the fact because he realizes he fucked it up. So he doesn't know because they hid Luke and Leia from him.
But also, if we want to really go into it, Starkiller. He treated Starkiller really bad. Starkiller, he quite literally treated like shit. He cloned Starkiller and then killed him.
Yeah, that's from games.
Hey, if we're just counting Darth Vader in general,
but does that count as a kid or as an apprentice? Because then also
he got him as a kid. Like he literally killed
Ahsoka.
He killed
Ahsoka came out pretty well.
That is true.
That's kind of like.
Let me finish. He killed Starkiller's dad right in front of him. Like right in front of him. And then he was like, "Child,
all right, join me." Where's he go?
I think he's probably above Omni-Man. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Red Skull.
That's funny how we didn't argue about that. Like we had all these arguments, and then we were just like,
we just argued over. We could have just gone right for it. That's right. Elias, just fast forward through that.
Yeah, I got you.
Who is this?
What?
I literally can't see who it is. Red Skull.
See? Okay. Oh, okay.
Well, it's smaller on my end.
Red Skull's Red Skull's a father.
Red Skull, father of sin. Noted to have only viewed Sin's mom as a way to have a child.
This is me embarrassing myself by calling a bunch of other characters Hitler when we have a real Hitler.
Literally just.
I think he's above Darkseid, but that's it. Darkseid wants to kill all life. Period. That's the only reason. That's literally the holding
all
factor
life,
of it.
Half-Life.
I was actually thinking like above. Well, he's kind of Ozai. He's kind of the Fire Lord because the Fire Lord is also all about that ethnic cleansing. You're kind of right. It's the same thing. Like his kids are just tools for his Nazi business.
Man, the amount of Nazis in this pretty wild.
So above or below Trigon?
I think a little bit above because he is awful, the worst, but he's not literally the devil, which is a very low bar.
Yeah. All right. So maybe I'll do it in this order. Hold on. We'll do it like that. Yeah. So we'll do John and then Jor-El and then Superman.
Wait, what do you mean, John?
Jonathan
Pa Kent.
Right?
Pa Kent.
Jonathan, I thought was his name.
Yeah. Well, I just called him Pa.
Yeah, I always just call him Pa Kent. I always forget that his real name is Jonathan.
Yeah.
I vote Daddy.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty great.
He made Superman.
I mean, I would say he's top, yeah. I would say, if anything, he's above because, like, while Jake had, like, stretching powers, like, this kid had literally way worse. Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically. He basically got the equivalent of a god and taught him how to be
a nice guy.
And if Brightburn is any indication, that could have gone really south.
I should have put the
or the
Brightburn
boys
dad in
or
here.
the million other original. What if Superman was evil?
Yeah, literally.
Jor-El.
No, Jor-El is difficult because depending on the like.
Yeah, I couldn't find a
just going
good
for the
image
most
that was square
general
of him.
The basic
The
thing,
most
I
general,
would say,
I would have to go with like next to Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah, I would say he's in most cases he's pretty good. He gets his kid out of there. He gets his niece out of there too.
Yeah, but
and,
actually, you know what though?
Sends them a dog.
Doesn't he do some bad shit later?
He actually aged up John Kent though, like the son. Like
right.
he took John Kent on a field trip, and then John Kent came back and was like, "Hey, mom and dad, it's been 15 years."
Yeah,
pretty awful.
Yeah, he so definitely has.
I think probably right above Simba, honestly. I mean, he usually has about the same amount of screen time.
Simba? I think we said that was Mufasa.
Oh, yeah, Mufasa. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lion King lore is escaping my head.
Yeah. Well, all the only reason is because I know that they have the like time skip Simba, and I know nothing about that, so I was about to be like, oh shit, was I not paying attention on that one?
Anyway, Superman, top tier. Period. I don't think there's an argument. Like he is quite literally the best dad.
I would say bottom of daddy. Bottom of daddy.
Yeah, I think if anything, he's better because he's not only balancing his work life, he's also raising his son who also has powers, and he's the only one that understands what his kid is going through.
Yeah, but I think that's what makes John better. John does not understand, and he still pulls it off. He does not have that whole like.
You know,
I know
actually,
exactly what
you
to
just
do.
convinced me.
That's
you're right.
That's
you're
valid.
right. That's a good point.
Yeah, Batman.
Pretty bad.
I wouldn't. Well, to be fair, he didn't know that Damien existed for a while.
I'm talking about all the other Robins too.
I mean,
well, but that's father figure. That's not actual father.
We said a couple of the other ones adopted kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, but that was just a bonus. That wasn't
adopted kids are still kids though. He habitually goes, finds orphans, but recruits them into his never-ending war.
Okay, wait, that's a bit, but that isn't actually what he does. He did that one time with Dick. That's because Dick was gonna go and kill whoever killed his parents anyway.
Right.
Just period. Jason quite literally robbed the Batmobile of its wheels, and then Batman brought him over there to like get a meal.
Yeah, and then he kept him.
And then Tim
kept him is the problem.
Well, because Jason literally didn't have a home. He was a homeless kid. That was the entire thing. Was like he was like literally he was like, so where can I drop you off? And like he was like, yeah, and fuck then, if I know.
but
also Tim quite literally asked to be Robin. Tim quite literally figured out Bruce's identity, showed up at his manor and said, "Hey, I know you're Batman. I want to be Robin."
Yeah, and
what the fuck is he supposed to do to that? Like,
I think the thing is that Bruce shouldn't have let that. Like,
he literally couldn't, because Tim quite literally started wearing the costume anyway.
There's alternatives.
Faulty, shut up.
I think to all of that. Dude,
Faulty, you're
drop
wrong.
Jason off at an orphanage. Oh,
but that's literally what he did, though.
The orphanages are bad.
He literally
Dog, you're Bruce Wayne. Just buy one.
That's the funny
thing. Run a good orphanage.
He does. He owns one with Linda Thompson, who is his dad's friend, who is a doctor.
Yeah.
I also think Jason is the worst example.
Well, Jason is really tough because, like, well, to be fair, Jason lived on the street for years. Like, it's a thing of, like, he tried to raise him to the best of ability, but, like, sometimes you can't. You have to understand, though, he also he literally took a child who was raised since birth to only kill people, to literally not view human life as anything, and turn this kid into an actual social, like, kid that is able to have hobbies and interests and like able to communicate.
I think the whole bit is like he can never save the Robins. Like he can never.
That always comes.
Them.
Yeah, and that always comes second. Also,
He only didn't save.
Treats them as soldiers. Like the
no,
circumstances
but that's the thing.
but the circumstances of why they become Robins is one thing. But the fact that he every single one of them fucking winds up getting so pissed at him because of the way he treats them. They get so like every single one of them goes.
It's less of the way he treats them and more that he's trying to protect them. I don't know. I think he's a better father than like Steven's dad.
Steven's dad.
Elias, you're the deciding factor.
Well, Baldy, where what's your vote?
I would put him below Odin in that like Odin doesn't like Odin
heard
still
it here first, folks.
Tries to parent.
Also needs to read more Batman comics.
I've read so many Batman comics, dog.
Not enough.
That's.
No, I'm joking. It's fun.
And who's read the least Batman comics must decide.
I would definitely say, even if it's high, it has to be below Steven's dad, because Batman doesn't do what you said Steven's dad does, which is Batman doesn't know when he's going to be not good for the kids. Batman, like Steven's dad is like, oh, I know I can't handle it. I'm going to let. Batman does not do that.
That's true. It's true.
He does not, like, he always thinks that he's the best even when he's not.
I kind of believe in this placement, to be honest, because Reed like is smart to a fault, but still, cares about his kids and has the resources to protect his kids. But he also has, super powers, but that's his intellect is above that. So even if he was a human, right? Even if he was a human father, he would be a great father. But I think I think he's just a step above Batman in that way.
Honestly, Elias, you're starting to convince me that Reed should be higher. I'm starting to be like, man, Reed's pretty good.
Reed's pretty good. I think we're maybe thinking more of his skills as a husband, maybe. Because once Valeria does come around, it's sort of like, yeah, he has his faults, but he eventually, and I would say currently, realizes the value of them a lot more.
That's true.
So maybe he's like above Jake, or maybe above Mufasa, honestly.
Honestly, yeah.
All right, we'll put him there. Oh, wait, but Jor-El did some fuck shit. I don't know. I mean,
Jor-El did do some fuck shit.
I'm gonna put him there. All right, Thomas, the train. Thomas Wayne.
Oh, I was like, I mean, he quite literally.
Like, L plus rich plus white plus got killed.
He quite literally tried to. Well, he opened a hospital, a non-profit hospital.
Yeah, again, that doesn't really have to do with his kids.
True, but to be fair, he was also making time for his kid while running a non-profit hospital, which is pretty big, and a whole company that dealt with like other pharmaceuticals and all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think in
like they only got into the weapon stuff after he died.
Yeah, in more recent comics, they're starting to try and make him as like he had shady stuff going on.
Yeah, they tried in recent years, but like a lot of people don't.
But again, that doesn't really have to do with him being a bad dad.
Yeah, like he treated Bruce well.
Fucking apparently Pablo Escobar, his kid loves him.
We have Tony Soprano also.
Yeah, we have Tony Soprano. Like, you can be a good dad and a horrible person.
Yeah.
And you could be a horrible.
But this is a good person and a good dad.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's the 1-2 punch.
I feel like he's here.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. All right, Luke Cage.
I don't know much.
I haven't read enough of him with his daughter.
So basically, he's really good at juggling his family life. He tries the hardest to keep his kids safe while he's still on the New Avengers team. So I think he's pretty dang high. He starts even better than Reed from the jump. So I feel like he's either low papa or high dad.
That sounds like low papa to me.
Low papa makes sense.
Yeah, he's on it from the jump. He's a good guy.
Is he better than Doofenshmirtz though, because he's not trying to kill?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair.
That's the thing you also have to take account. Like, technically, Doofenshmirtz is trying to kill all her friends.
I don't think he's necessarily trying to kill them. They're not all kill raised. Some of them are mind control.
He's trying to
rule it. He's not trying to kill them.
Yeah.
But then we saw what happened in the real timeline where he just made people into like basically like half cyborgs and like killed anyone who went against him. Which I will repeat, only happened because he lost his choo-choo train.
Yeah. Well, they shouldn't have fucked with his choo-choo train. I don't know enough about Luke being a father to.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here. Well, I think he's actually, now I'm looking at the other people, I think he actually goes above a lot of these people. I'm putting them there.
You think he's better than Johnny's dad? Johnny's dad is the full package.
We'll just put him.
Yeah.
Like,
all right,
he's talking about a house dad.
Yeah.
Only a few left. Miles' dad, an hour and 30.
Miles' dad is pretty. I mean,
he's pretty solid.
He's solid, but it really depends on which continuity.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse, he's a cop. In main comics, was a secret agent, and then blamed Miles for his wife's death.
Hmm.
Which, blaming your son for your wife's death is fucked.
Yeah. Well, I think overall, definitely, cares about Miles.
Yeah.
But sort of trying to look at it in an Odin framing.
Yeah, I think he's probably just above Odin.
Yeah.
And then we have another great black father, Norman Osborn.
It's pretty bad.
Norman Osborn really is in goblin mode. Whoa.
To me, he feels like Marceline's dad.
But
he sometimes hates Harry, bro. Like,
yeah,
he hates Harry.
Bro, I would put him below father.
But weirdly enough, not enough to kill Harry.
No, he's killed Harry.
Just to, yeah, I guess that's.
He's quite literally killed Harry before, and Harry literally came back from the dead just to fuck with him. Yeah, I think there's good.
Just keep dropping him. No, you can't. He's pretty terrible. He's
awful.
Terrible.
You guys were trying to justify him.
I didn't say shit. I didn't say shit.
Balti over here being the all-forgiving Balti.
I feel like he's here.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's maybe above Red Skull.
I think he's there actually because.
Yeah. Fire Lord Ozai. That's true.
Well,
okay, stay there.
We'll leave it there. Wolverine.
Fucking bad.
He's like.
To be fair, he didn't know that Akihiro was still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a Darth Vader thing.
After he learns about Akihiro, he does try multiple times to like connect with him, and then X-23 enters his life, and he tries to like treat her somewhat normally. Like, he tries, but then he starts slipping off, and then it really depends on the writer.
Yeah.
And then Akihiro quite literally got fucking ripped apart just to fuck over with Logan, which technically isn't Logan's fault, but is also like that wouldn't have happened if.
Yeah, I mean, Wolverine, is not meant to, is not father material, but tries his best to be a good father. So
he's down to crack open a cold.
You know what? I think what gives him a little bit of points for me is his role at Xavier's. He is a pretty good father figure to a lot of the mutants.
You know what? Actually, I do agree with that.
That I think that again isn't his whole thing, but it does help.
So I like above or below Deadpool?
I think maybe above.
Yeah, I would say above. He does his best. And
guys, it's like that movie, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
All right, Ra's al Ghul. There's a few left.
Depending on which version, technically he took over his daughter's body and lived in it.
I didn't know about all that.
In the animated and Batman Beyond, he quite literally puts his brain in Talia's body and then and then literally tries to fuck Bruce. It's weird, bro. It's weird. and then when they reveal that she's actually Ra's, her voice changes to literally just Ra's deep voice, male voice. And
it's just do that, dude.
And it's like Talia's voice apparently could just do that.
That no, that's not Talia. That's Ra's. He could just always do that.
His brain just lets him do that. It's really funny. Yeah. It's a really funny scene because it's like, sexy lady, and it's like, hello, detective.
So
I think he would be below Magneto. Well, no, I think above Magneto because he's kind of the same thing, but at least he, other than stealing her body, treats her well.
Well, to be fair, that is just the animated show. In other instances, he's pretty good to his daughter.
She is kind of treated like fucking royalty.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what?
I think he's better than Finn's dad.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I would bump him up there.
Yeah.
I would even bump him up a whole level because purely based on how he treats Talia, he's pretty good. Even Damien,
and
he's pretty
Damien,
good.
yeah.
He treats his daughter better than Peter Griffin, so that's where he's going.
True.
He fucking, if we're counting like son-in-law, Bruce, he fucking treats pretty well when he's not fighting him.
I mean, I was gonna say, I was like, he tries to kill him multiple times.
All right, Deathstroke.
Pretty awful. He got his
he's
one
pretty
kid, literally had his vocal cords sliced,
Yeah.
and then shot the other kid in the eye.
I'd say like,
and then the other kid, who was a clone of him, got killed because of him.
I'd say between the Fire Lord.
I'd say just above Sabretooth, because he did actually try with some of them.
He did try with some of them.
Well, he did try with the clone, and he did try with Jericho. Rose, he didn't really care.
Yeah. All right, and then the last one that I thought would be funny to include is Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So,
yeah, he's father to his many creations.
Who could forget the many creations like the Cyclops turtle?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or Mr. Sinister number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I would.
Okay. I think we can rate him pretty low, right? He did kill an entire universe.
I would say absolute bottom, because if the clones and creations count as kids, a lot of them he creates specifically just to get them killed.
I wouldn't say the very bottom.
Like, just purely based on fatherhood.
I think right there is good. Right above Banner's dad.
I mean, he has good. If they're his kids, he has some of them exist purely just to be decoys so they can die instead of him.
That's true, but also he's not trying to kill all life in the universe.
He's just
until he does try to achieve domain, though.
Yeah, he's just trying to
Dominion.
He's just trying to replace it with himself.
Actually, it's Dominion.
Shut the fuck up. Jarvis, send a homing missile to his house.
Jarvis, give this guy testicular torsion.
All right, guys. So that's been the Cosmic Panel's father tier list for 2025. Don't forget to wish your dad a happy Father's Day.
Yep.
Most fathers are terrible, as you guys can see from this tier list here. There's only like a few good ones out there. So cherish the good ones.
Yeah.
Tell us how your dad ranks amongst these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us. Hopefully, out of the whole bottom hat, really it's a very low bar. So hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully pretty good.
Hopefully your dad's better than
Base Hitler?
Than Brian Banner. Wait, do we want to adjust any? No, I don't care. It's too fucking long.
Yeah, this went too long. Yeah. It really doesn't matter that much.
Remember to like, subscribe, support your local comic shop, and read comics. Bye-bye.
Which is us now. Buy comics from us and nowhere else.
We're comics.
Fuck
we're also
you
gonna
if you
start
do.
making comics.
Yeah, we're gonna.
So buy our comics.
We're gonna monopolize the comic market.
And next episode, we're all going to make out. Bye.
What?